Becky Launder here, CEO and co-founder of Modern Direct Seller. I am live every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, with a money-making tip to help you grow your direct sales biz faster. So today's going to be a good one, and it's a little bit of a primer because we have a podcast dropping tomorrow that really unpacks this entire idea. So if you're intrigued by it, or maybe even curious / questioning what I have to say here, you got to definitely check out the podcast tomorrow because we're going to go in much more depth on this. So as you're joining in, say hello. Let me know your business down in the comments and where you're joining us from. It's hard to believe we are exactly halfway through June. So we are almost at that mid-year point, a great time to kind of stop, reflect what's working, what's not working, how things have maybe shifted inside your business, because that's kind of what we're talking about today. We're talking about the shifts we're seeing on social media. Maybe you've seen it and you've felt it, but you haven't quite been able to articulate what's been going on. So I'm hoping that today's video is going to provide a little bit of clarity on that. And of course, if you find it valuable and helpful and you feel like your team and your biz besties need to hear this, click that share button. I would be so grateful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit how things are changing, right? So I don't know about you guys, but I definitely remember the good old days of social media where I could just make a post, not even a video, not a short form video, not a reel, just a post with a company created graphic, and I would get a sale. People would buy things. It was incredible. Well, a lot has changed since those good old days. And part of it is the platforms that we're hanging out on. The other part of it is that people have changed the way that they like to purchase, right? So social selling really was kind of in its heyday, I'd say 2017, 18, 19. Then COVID kind of allowed us to stretch out the good old days a little bit longer because we just had this captive audience hanging out on social, and they didn't have much else to do but to engage with our posts and buy our things. But as we're looking at business today in 2026, I think it's really important to recognize that it is a completely different ballgame out here, right? These are the kinds of conversations I've been having and keynotes that I've been giving, or on our Academy VIP calls as we're talking about shifts, definitely my one-on-one coaching calls. But I thought that now's the time that we just got to put it out there for all of you. So let's get to it. So first off, I think it's important to recognize that the job of social media has changed. So like I said, back before, social media was a platform for us to sell on. That's where we would show up. That's where we would sell. But now, today, in 2026, I'm really seeing social as a discoverability and a visibility tool, right? Your posts, your reels, your stories, they're warming people up. They're allowing people to get a glimpse into who you are and what you have to offer. But to be frank, they are not closing deals. And I mean, a great example of this is, when's the last time that you posted a link to a product on your company replicated site as part of a post and somebody just went and clicked and purchased? Probably not very often. In fact, when you're putting the link in your post, it's taking people off the platform, and Meta doesn't like that. So maybe you're putting it in the comments, maybe you have a link in your stories, but really it's few and far between at this stage that if you're sending a direct link to buy something, that people are just clicking and going and shopping. What's usually happening is that they need to have a conversation first, or there's a little bit of back and forth, or those sales are frankly just happening off the platform. They're not happening here on social. So when we think about the role of social media, really social media's new job description is to help you get seen and help you get discovered. It's not to help you sell directly. Now, sure, if people can find you here, if they can discover you, that may lead to a sale down the road, but I'd really be thinking less about the sales that are happening on the platform and more about the conversations that you're creating off of the platform. So when we're thinking about where those transactions and those sales are actually taking place, For most people, they're happening in text messages. They're happening in direct messages, so a one-on-one conversation. They're happening off the platforms completely, so through your personal website, or they're happening in a in-person event, right? Like an kind of an old school in-home event if you're hosting events or experiences or connecting with people in person, vendor events, pop-ups. But in all of those cases, there is real one-on-one, real human connection, right? Those sales are not just coming in passively through your social platforms. So the kind of the process that I'm seeing happening more often than not is that you create your social content, you're getting discovered or creating visibility on social. That's shifting into a real conversation that you're having with someone, and that's resulting in a sale. So where most direct sellers are going wrong right now is they're trying to take people directly from a post to a purchase. And that is no longer working. We gotta have some things happening in between to nurture that relationship. So I like to call that a little bit of like the missing middle. And a lot of people are like, well, what do I do with people in between? I'm making these posts on social, but I'm a big fan of sending them to your website to read your blog posts, to check out a freebie, to engage in a text conversation, to join you at an in-person event or even a Zoom event if it's going to be virtual, but a place where you can really build and solidify that relationship that you're building. So as you're thinking about your social media strategy, it's got to be focused on building that personal brand, showing a little bit of your lifestyle, also just a place that people can learn more about you. But ultimately, when the sales are happening, that's probably not happening from your social posts. So you can just get that out of your head, right? We don't need to be linking to a product, but we do need a clear call to action to tell people how to connect with you next. I always say this, but your number one job on social is to get people into a direct message. So if you're just getting a bunch of comments on posts or likes on posts, or you're not seeing anything from your posts, then your social isn't working for you. You really need to create it in a way that's going to tell people what to do next. And more often than not, that's moving it into a direct conversation or taking them somewhere off the platform where they can learn more about you and your business. So I think there's so much potential for leveraging social in this new way. But if you're still trying to sell directly on the platform, my guess is your business is struggling right now, right? So this is a good little wake-up call to recalibrate and pivot and maybe change some things up as you're thinking about your strategy for the second half of the year. We have a workshop that is literally 13 minutes long because I get it, you guys. It's summer. You have no time. I have no time. So I really like smushed it all in. Technical word there, smushed. It's smushed in to a 13-minute video that's going to give you the ideas of how you can generate more leads for your business and what that next step is, that middle step that you can take people from social into making a purchase, because I really feel like that's where that breakdown is happening in most social sellers' businesses today, because we're still trying to run our businesses like how they operated 6 years ago. And times have changed. We gotta keep up. So we're moving forward. So if you're interested in that workshop, totally free, you guys. It's totally free. Just comment the word leads and I'll send you the direct link to the workshop. So you can check it out and let me know what you think. Tell me what you sell, and I'm more than happy to kind of brainstorm with you how you can capture more leads using these strategies that I cover in the 13-minute video. So with that said, I hope you have an incredible week. It is great to see everyone today. Definitely check out that podcast tomorrow. And for all of our Academy members, we have a great masterclass coming up this week with Holly Haynes. I can't wait for it. I hope to see you there. And if you're not in the Academy, you can always sneak in and get access to Holly's anti-social training of how to build your business even without social media. Ooh, yeah.